Hey songwriters, this is Ari Koinuma, and today we are going to look at Sting's classic If I Ever Lose My Faith in You. And particularly we're going to look at how the song has many different, it goes through many different keys, and how he uses the chord progressions to kind of smooth the transition, so it just seamlessly seems to go from one key to the next, and how it all kind of ties the song together. We can sort of learn why that works, so that we can use similar techniques to, create songs that can have different tonal centers throughout the songs and keep the songs interesting. So the song starts out fairly safe, from more or less A to G to D, And he repeats that a couple times. And then the fourth time, he goes to F sharp minor. If I play a full bar chord, it goes like this. And then goes into chorus, which is E and then F sharp and G and A. So the verse is in it's kind of a tonal center. Actually it's more like a D, that it's in the key of D. It starts from the 5, then A, G, and D. But then actually he uses the F sharp as sort of the glue that transitions from D to E. And this is called like a Common-chord transposition, technically speaking, because in the key of D, F sharp minor is a 3 chord, right? But then in the key of E, F sharp minor is a 2 chord. The minor 2 chord has a sort of a not strong, but a tendency to want to go to 1 to resolve. Instead of going, like a 5-1 cadence, dun dun, that kind of thing. 2 to 1 cadence still kind of has a sort of a sense of arrival. So he's using that as a sort of a glue, the transition chord, that belongs in both keys, so it doesn't sound out of place. But then when you go from the D to E by using F sharp to set up the E, he's smoothing out the transition. Similarly, like if you're going from D to E, you could use, for example, A, which is another common chord between the two keys, and then go from one key to another two. So that's really the concept, is to find like a common chord between the two different keys, two different sections, and use that as a transition, which will make it seem fairly smooth. The key change doesn't seem so abrupt. Anyway, moving on. So the chorus is E, F sharp, G, A, and then he goes back to the verse. Anyway, so there's another verse, another chorus, and then at the end of the second chorus, this one goes into this bluesy section, G to E minor. And then he goes into F sharp. So the sneaky thing about that particular section is, of course, from going from E ascending chorus into the G to E minor, sort of a bluesy kind of change, which, it's still, we're going from major to minor, so it still comes across as, sort of somewhat seamless, although it's still a little bit surprising. And then to make it even more surprising, he then just abruptly just goes to F sharp, and then at first he goes to F sharp minor, and then from there it's basically the same chorus progression, but whole step up, so 2 half steps up. F sharp, G sharp, A, B, and then this time when you come back second time, he goes to F sharp major, and then G sharp, and A, and B. So this is a bridge, and I think he wanted to have that sort of sense of, oh, something new came up. Just it's actually not new at all. It's just a variation of the old in different, or in the different key. But I think he wanted that sense of just surprise in the bridge, like something new is happening. So he just didn't really bother to have transition chord, and then just went straight to a new key. So key change doesn't always have to be smoothed out with common chords. You can just go ahead and do it. Just know that that has a fairly jolting, abrupt kind of effect. So you want to make sure that that's exactly what you want to do when you do it there. And I think he just went at first to the F sharp minor instead of F sharp major, because I think it just sounds a little smoother. Going straight to F sharp major there, it just seems even more strong, or just more abrupt. But that's kind of a subtle, sneaky change. Now from there he goes back to the verse, and then, yes, there's one more twist waiting for us before the final chorus comes in. So the verse is A, G, D. And then he goes through the change as if he was going to chorus, but then instead of going to E and then to the regular chorus, he just goes from E to C sharp minor, right? And then the next chorus part is in the key of B. It's the same chords as the regular chorus, but he does it in the key of B. So it's B, C sharp, D, E. Then he goes back into the regular chorus, which is using the common chord, the E there. So the reason this works is E to C sharp. C sharp of course is 6 in the key of E, and then C sharp to B is that same 2 to 1 cadence resolving kind of thing. So he, instead of going from F sharp to E and then staying there, he just went from C sharp to B. So just kind of had like 2 different key changes like in a row. So again, it's a kind of an advanced move there. It does require a bit of a knowledge of music theory and what are the sort of the techniques for changing keys to be able to pull something like that off. But if you want to be sophisticated with your songwriting, if you want to just get away from just staying the D, G, A and then staying there kind of thing, these are the techniques that you can explore. So to sum it up, today we looked at how Sting uses many different keys throughout the song, If I Ever Lose My Faith in You, and a lot of times he uses the common chord transposition, basically finding the common chord between the incoming key and the outgoing key and the incoming key, and then using that as a transition, so that switching from one key to the next doesn't seem quite so abrupt. It's kind of smooth. Now, sometimes, but then other times when he wants the jolt, then he does use a direct transposition without really setting up the new key, and that works too if that's the effect that you want. I mean, you don't want to do it all the time because then it will be really unsettling, but once in a key part of the song you can really just get away with it. And I'm not saying that like a song is a better song if it had more keys that it goes through. There's, you know, of course, it's perfectly fine to write a song and just stay in one key. But as a songwriter, our goal is to write songs that keep the audience engaged, to keep them interesting from the beginning to the end, and changing key is a fine way to do that. Now, that being said, you know, the part of the reason why this song, despite its many adventurous key changes, why it sounds so cohesive is because he's reusing the same chorus progression, or at least a small variation of it when he does change. You know, even though he uses it in 3 different keys, it's still the same progression. And that's why the song can sort of come across as just a single cohesive piece, and it doesn't give you a sense that the song is, you know, starting at point A and it just kind of meanders and wanders off into totally weird places, which is valid too in some cases, but in this song's case, he wanted that sort of tight cohesiveness as a song, but still be adventurous in terms of the chords and keys and harmonies. So these are, you know, fairly advanced. You need some knowledge of music theory to be able to pull off something like this, but if you get into it, you know, it just gives you more palette and more places to explore as a songwriter and, you know, come up with more interesting songs. So have fun playing around with these concepts, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.